Because none of them is journalists. Let's get that straight. But podcasters and content creators.
My expose on Wack and how I'm breaking down the Wack 100 lies with the big U case actually is constituted by Webster's definition of journalism. I find a situation, I research the situation, I find facts, and I find sources that are able to prove these facts. I find sources that are able to disprove these facts. Everything that I am proving is backed up by federal paperwork and federal documents, meaning that I am actually doing a lot of research and a lot of different checking of penal codes and legal statutes to make sure what I'm giving you guys information is actually correct. That would actually fall under the definition of accurate journalism. So just throwing that into the mix. Munchie B might not see it, but we're not necessarily talking about the Munchie B case. So what he doesn't see by way of me breaking down the Wack 100 paperwork really is not too relevant, but it is in fact journalism.
And all right, go ahead.
Scrolling out on Instagram, bro. It's bigger than the police. All y'all podcasters, not all of them, but YouTubers and people on Instagram, y'all the golden egg to the investigator. All they gotta do is hashtag your page and hashtag what they want to hear about and build their case.
And for Munchie B to be on here upset at podcasters and YouTubers like he doesn't work at No Jumper is interesting. That's how you decide to voice the adjective about his feelings about that is your voicing of adjectives. I'm gonna say interesting, as well as I think that it's interesting that Munchie B has such an affinity towards anger with podcasters when he himself has said too much on podcasts about things that are going on within recent times in open cases. Even going so far as to say that, in recent times, yes, my homeboys, unalive Drakeo the ruler, those are my people, and blah, 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 blah. You will say that people are telling on you, but if you're saying that your homeboys unalive somebody and you're bragging about it and you're like, yeah, I don't care about them, so what, they unalived them, even after saying you passed the bottle to the unaliver, that would make you able to be used as a witness or as a cooperant by law enforcement based off your own admission of said knowledge. So again, when it comes to all this, I'm going to quote Boosie, and Boosie's the only one getting it right. I agree with that. Should you not pick up and go to No Jumper on Monday? The same platform that I decided to highlight and publicize the police coming to the office to pick you up, despite the fact of having just beat a gun case. So not really sure what you mean about the podcasters, because you definitely fall into the space of podcasters by doing, your job over at No Jumper. So are you upset with yourself is the question that I'm now wondering.
Y'all go into depth, into detail, saying names, saying stuff about crimes. Like, it's sad, bro. And why is the question? The people y'all doing this trying to harm never harm you a day in their life. Y'all never had words. They don't even know you. The people you doing this for, they don't know you neither. They don't give a fuck about it. If they family want a silver suit, you wouldn't get shit. You wouldn't get $1. So why is the question? Do it make you sleep better at night? Like, why are we so happy in the world with someone's downfall? And why is always us doing this to us? You never see a white man doing this to a white artist. Why is you trying to solve a crime on the internet? If they didn't have social media, it seemed like that would be our job. I mean, go get a job as a detective. They're hiring. You just getting it out. These niggas just getting it out. Like,
every time you say that, all I hear is girls that are wham in a circle, even if it's small or jumps like a hurdle.
But I want to know why. Do it make you sleep better at night? Like, even you interviewers, like, why ask somebody a question they can get them murdered? Why ask somebody a question they can get them 50 years to life in prison? Give me a Ricky Smiley interview, bro. Like, this shit bigger than the police. This shit is bigger than the police. Police could be looking way somewhere else. Y'all gonna put them right there. It's sad. It really is, bro. And the question is, why? Nobody from both sides know you. It's sad, bro. I was scrolling out on Instagram, bro.
All right.
Which is really true. Nobody from either side knows you. You just out here just kind of talking for the sake of just talking, which is unfortunate.
Hey man, shout out Lil Boosie, bro. Shout out Lil Boosie, bro. I got the utmost respect for Lil Boosie because he speak his piece. And I very rarely disagree, if ever, with his stance. And I gotta tip my hat to him, you know what I mean? He ain't worried about being canceled or none of that. Why is people on the internet trying to solve crimes? And if they are trying to solve crimes, be genuine about your intentions. You got people that's doing it for monetary reasons.
No, you guys will say, I don't like Munchie B. I don't like Munchie B. I don't like the way Munchie B thinks. I don't care for, as an adult, as me being a representative of Los Angeles, California, as he is a representation of Los Angeles County, because he's from the city of Inglewood, based in the city of Los Angeles. It's the lack of education that leads to common sense and accountability that I don't care for. No, Flakko should not be trying to solve crimes on the internet. No, Trap Lord Ross should not be trying to solve crimes on the internet. No, Wack 100 should not be trying to solve crimes on the internet. But at the same time, no, Munchie B should not be admitting to and aiding to criminal investigations by drunken statements on the internet as well. So if you want to sit here and be like, oh, it's everybody's fault, it's everybody's fault, at what point does the accountability of your own missteps and your own misspeaking come into play? At what point do you say, you know what, damn, I messed up, I shouldn't have said that? Because when met with suggestions and opinions about his statements, when he says, quote, I pass the bottle to the person who unalived Drakeo the ruler all the time, Munchie B doubles down with, I don't care, I'll say it again. J Hood goes, quote, your homie's unalived Drakeo the ruler and you don't like him. Munchie B says, quote, yeah, I don't give a F, I'll keep saying it, I don't care. So with that being said, you don't care about the things that you, based off your words, based off your conversation, you don't care to stop saying the things that you're saying that people can use against you in police statements and documents and reportings and investigations. You don't care to stop saying these things, but you want people like Flakko to stop reporting on you as you continuously say these things. That doesn't make sense. That's just illogical. So when we're listening to him complain about these people doing their things, I'm not saying that he's wrong in his complaints at all, but I am saying if we're going to talk about the entirety of the situation, let's talk about the entirety of the situation. And the entirety of the situation is, even after making that statement on Clubhouse about Drakeo the Ruler's unalivement, you have as recently as last week where you're sitting on with J Hood and you're laughing and saying, yes, my homie's unalived this person and I had beef with him and blah, 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 despite that being a motive, despite that, giving the people in the court system a clear reasoning and I guess legal right to investigate you because you're making yourself at least have knowledge of the accused, and it's just poor thinking. And again, it's all hidden behind it's someone else's fault. So when you guys say, oh, you don't like Munchie B, you don't like Munchie B, I have a hard time relating to a grown man who has no accountability, blames everyone else, and then continuously makes the same mistake over and over again. That's a level of ignorance that I just can't understand.
Reasons, it ain't like they compassionate towards the victims or the family, because they'll do the content in a comical way. They'll make light of a serious situation. And like Boosie said, you will know either party. You don't know neither party involved. He ain't have to say no names. Everybody know the usual suspects. But yeah, man, shout out Lil Boosie, man. I respect people like Lil Boosie. Glasses Malone. I'm trying to think of the rappers that be speaking out on their platforms. Let me see. It's a few more, man, and they keep it thorough. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna think of some more, but man, look. So next what I got up, bro. Now, one of these days on No Jumper, I threw it out there.
I don't know, you guys. I think that if Munchie B took a lot more accountability for the situations that he was in, you don't even have to take accountability publicly. Who cares what I think? Who cares what the people think? I think that if Munchie B took more accountability for the things that he does and doesn't say online, he would have a lot less complaints about people speaking on his content. If you just took a lot more accountability for your words and for your statements, you would have a lot less to complain about by way of what everybody else has going on. With that all being said, man, red dots to the left, you know the rest. Say a prayer and be blessed. We are gone.